Good morning, good morning. How are you doing this morning? And welcome, welcome. My name is Alex. Let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is Alex Cooper. I teach the computer classes at the Columbia County Libraries. Oh, have to make sure the mic is on, of course. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alex Cooper. I teach the computer classes at the Columbia County Libraries. I teach for the Columbia County Library, the Harlem Library, Uchee Creek, now the Grovetown Library. Yay, with our new building and everything. So very glad that you're here with me this morning. Today's class is YouTube 101. Hope you're at home staying safe and everything. We're not having any on-ground classes. We're all having our virtual classes here on YouTube or our other places like on Facebook and stuff like that. So, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's talk about some of the other classes we've done and some classes we have coming up this week too. Now, I'll tell you, you do need to be logged into YouTube to be able to post anything in the chat. So definitely feel free to kind of post any questions you have into the chat as we're doing our live class, and I'll be happy to answer in any way I can. Okay? So, as I'll say, welcome. The big question I always ask is, how can I help? So have you worked on a project? Have you tried to do some YouTube videos and stuff and had a few issues with them? You know, what has been your experience? Okay. And of course, how can I help? Okay. So Tuesday we did cut the cable, the basics of cord cutting. Okay. That video is still up and available, and all the videos I'll talk about are still up and available on our YouTube channel. We talked about setting up an antenna, Hulu, Sling TV, Pluto TV, and of course the new Peacock service as well. Yesterday we did Chess 101, so that's a really fun class. So definitely watch that if you're interested in doing chess. Now's a great time to start to play chess a little bit. You can play with friends or family, or of course you can play with folks online with the chess.com app that's free. We also did our library resources and apps that way. We talked about free resources from the library, ebooks, audiobooks, legal forms, how to access for free Acorn TV, and the free IndieFlix subscription service too. This morning, of course, we're doing our YouTube channel, and this afternoon we're going to be doing YouTube 101. And this afternoon we'll be doing our Raspberry Pi computing projects with me, Alex. These are classes at a little bit more open form, but the one I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be working on making a musical. They call it actually a musical box is what they call it. It'll be a bunch of buttons that we can press that'll make noise and stuff. Here's a list of some of all of our classes that we actually have coming up. We got, of course, the new class, the Raspberry Pi projects with me, Alex. If you look here, we'll be updating. Next week, we'll be doing Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. It's been updated to 2019, the latest version. And also at the end of the month, we're going to be doing photography basics, fundamentals, cloud backup, advanced photo editing, and layers is a new class because it was just editing and then it was virtual scrapbooking. So if you've taken that class in the past, come join me for that because now we're going to be talking about layers and composition. And then we put virtual scrapbooking into its own class, and we've included photography printing basics. Okay. And then we'll finish up with our creating video and editing basics. What we'll be doing in that class is we'll be using the Microsoft Photos app that comes free with Windows, and it has a video editor in it. Okay, so I have some folks that come to like this YouTube class, and let's say I'm looking for a free video editor to try to kind of get started. Well, Windows 10 actually does come with one. It has special effects. It does graphics. It's pretty fun to use, and it's included with Windows 10. So and come to that class. We did one last month. That video should still be up and available. But of course, every time we do a new class, we learn something new. We add it to our class. Our libraries are open with limited services and hours. Curbside holds pickup is available. You can go to gchrl.org for details or call the library with questions Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and give our videos a like. If you're searching for our YouTube channel, it's GCHRL Videos. Just search for GCHRL Videos and it'll come right up. Okay, so first I want to go ahead and I want to post the handout into our chat. Give me a moment to get that. Go ahead, if you have any questions, post that into the chat now. Of course, like I said, you do have to be logged into YouTube to be able to post any questions, subscribe, or like as well. Okay, so here's our handout in the chat. Now the way we kind of go about this is that if we are in class, which I've taught this class in class, basically what happens is you have a handout here. We work on our computers in front of us, and then we actually have topics, and I actually kind of flip back and forth. So just kind of realize we're going to be doing that. So I kind of recommend you, downloading, the handout, and then basically having it so you can have it in maybe me in a smaller device and kind of flip back and forth and stuff. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about our overview here, what we're going to cover. So we're going to talk about what is YouTube, okay? We're going to talk about how you sign up, log in. We're kind of going to be talking about both. We're going to be talking about using YouTube, and then we're going to talk about how to create content for YouTube, okay? So we'll be kind of doing a chicken or the egg situation, I guess you could say. If I can get in the right position here. All right, so, and I'll disappear if I'm blocking anything. All right, sign up, log in as a viewer. How do we view a video? What are views? What are subscriptions? As a creator, we'll talk about uploading videos to YouTube. We'll talk about recommendations about cameras, lighting, microphones, video editing, and I'll show you what I'm using. We'll talk about making money success, and I will tell you already, it is a little bit of a learning curve, so not to dissuade you in any way to do anything a passion or a hobby or something that you like, but do realize you have to even get in the process, you have to have 10,000 subscribers. So we're going to start with right there, and then you'll learn a little bit more about that and how that gets started as well. But there are other ways that you can earn money as also. And we'll talk about our resources. And then let's go ahead. Does anybody have any questions to begin with? All right, and I'll disappear. I usually pause a little bit because I do know that there's a delay in posting a question, me getting to it too. All right, so let's start talking about YouTube. Let's start talking about it. So YouTube, what is YouTube? YouTube was created in 2005. It's free with ads, video sharing website or app. Makes it easy to watch online videos. Yes, they are actually owned by Google as well. One of the most popular sites on the internet. Okay. It says visitors watch about 6 billion hours of video each month. You can even create and upload your own videos to share with others. If you've ever watched a video online, there's a good chance it probably was a YouTube video. Even some websites, what they'll do is they'll upload their videos to YouTube and then embed them on their web page so they don't have to pay to host the videos. They just let it be hosted on YouTube. Another reason YouTube is so popular, it's all about user-generated content. Along with videos by major TV networks and movie studios, you'll find amazing creative videos made by people just like you. Okay. You can record and share your own videos and become a part of the community. There's no initial cost to go in to creating videos either. Now, what is YouTube Premium? YouTube Red. Okay. It's $11.99 a month. You'll see some that they've been pushing a lot more in their ads lately. I feel like they've started pushing more ads, but most of the ads are about getting the YouTube Premium. There's a student version as well. May or may not be interested in that, and we'll talk about other features about how that actually, how does that affect people that are subscribers, okay? Well, user creators and the let me see if I can say that properly. How does YouTube Premium affect creators that people have subscribed to YouTube Premium? Okay, versus watching ads. You can watch millions of videos ad-free before and during a video, including video overlay ads. The big thing is they try to push it so you can do background play with the screen turned off, which you can't do that with the free. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and let's go to youtube.com. Okay. Now, some of this, because I am broadcasting on YouTube, it'll be kind of like I'll talk about it. I can't show it, okay, because we do have our limitations here. But we'll talk about signing in. You can watch videos that are not premium, all non-premium videos without signing in. But I will tell you this, if you're trying to be a creator, one of the things is you want to tell people not to just click subscribe and like and all that, but you need to make sure that they're logged in or they can't do any of that stuff, okay? They may or may not understand that, or they may be on a their phone and they never sign in on their phone, but you will still get a view count. We'll talk about that too. So let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to be showing live YouTube, so just take a note of that. So I'll kind of flip back and forth here. So here's talking about our features. First, we have our big search. That's really one of the biggest things that we can do. We can go up here and just click search, and it'll search YouTube for what we're looking for, okay? Right now I'm not signed in because I'm already signed in. But we'll kind of get to that when we get to that, okay? So we have our big list, suggested things, free movies that are even listed on here. Kind of encourage you to zoom in, of course. We have our search. We have our trending, which is what mostly comes up, what's most popular on YouTube right now. So if you click trending, it'll show what's hot, what topics. A lot of it's music videos, a lot of it's, you know, news articles or news segments that have come up, something has happened, and that's become very popular as well. And also with the signing in, you can click on subscriptions and it'll show you who your subscriptions are, okay? Or who you're subscribed to, what channels, okay? Does it cost to subscribe to channels? No, it's just that's on my list of favorite places I like to get content, okay? Now, let's go ahead and let's look at, hold on a second, let me make sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look around here. And we should be able to we're actually going to look at our library channel that we're actually currently on, which is kind of funny. So basically it shows a lot of the videos that have come up, a lot of videos that are posted on there, and it shows a nice little preview of them as well. Okay. Now if you click on the channel, it'll show you the videos, and that's actually our class that we're doing right now. We have a button that says subscribe to it. Right now we have 30 subscribers. And right now we actually have a very long name here. You actually have to have 100 subscribers to be able to get your own unique name, which we're on the way. We're going to. It's one of our goals. This coming up is to encourage more people to subscribe. So therefore, we can get our own unique name, which will probably be GCHRL videos. Okay, instead of a long address like that. You can scroll through here, see the different videos. You can set this up, customize this if you want to, and you can actually make up a section where you can actually have it where it says created playlist. So if you have a bunch of videos that go in a certain sequence and you don't want to just look at just random videos, okay, you can actually see that you can set up playlists. You can actually set up a discussion if you want to, allows you to talk with people more, and of course have your about page, which has details if you do have a website or anything else going on. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want to go to a different channel, and give me 1 second to remember what that channel is. Let's see. So one of our big YouTube stars is Ryan of Ryan's World. But I need to do the search. So there's Mr. Ryan of Ryan's World.
Playing in the pool is so much fun! Whoa, whoa.
So we come up here, we come to their channel. We see they have a logo at the top of there. We have lots of playlists on here. Lots of content. This is one of the most popular channels on YouTube. Mostly because Ryan and his family, or his, movie makers or creators, are just so prevalent in making videos, and that's one reason why they've made it such a big success, is content, 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 content. And you'll hear me talk about that too. So we look up here, and they actually have 26 1,000,000 subscribers to the YouTube channel. Mostly Ryan started out a few years ago as being a basically they reviewed toys, because when Ryan was littler, I should say, he would review toys. Let me see if I can go all the way back here. You'll notice that they have a lot of content on here. It's so many videos I can't even go back. Let me see, where is they? Let's see. Will it tell me how many videos they have? No, don't play again. Let's see. Here's experiments. They've pushed into doing fun science stuff, even fun little animations, all kinds of stuff. So not only have we started off as being a toy collector, toy, review. There you go, Ryan World Toys. Here we go. Review, but also kind of spurred out into doing other stuff as well. So they have playlists, and they have the about. Okay. So if we go to our main videos here, here's one that looks kind of funny about ninjas.
A family vacation.
So first we get our advertisement that pops up, of course. I'll mute that. And of course we have our ads. I click skip ad, and it'll go to our main video part. So there's Ryan. Let's talk about what we have. So here's our course main screen area. We can do closed captions. Some of these will be user created closed captioning. Computer generated closed captions. We also have that we can make the screen bigger if we want to, or we can make the screen full screen if we want to as well. Okay. So again, realize that some of your folks looking at your videos may not be looking at them full screen, or they may be looking at them on a small device. So having text on the screen that's large, easy to read, that's a good point. Here we are talking about our views here. This apparently has been posted today. Okay. Yep, today. And I already have 70,000 views. Here we can do likes. Someone can do dislikes as well. And of course you can click the share button and it'll come up and it'll make a YouTube, and sometimes it'll give a little bit of a different name too, and give a bunch of numbers or letters at the end, and it makes it very easy to share your video on most platforms, or even email it to yourself or copy it or whatever. One big thing is you can create a start. So if there's a certain type, or a certain place on a video that you want somebody to see, you can very easily just type in here where you want it to start. Or if you jump to here and then I click share and say start at, it'll be right there. So not only can I share a video, but I can share a video to start playing in a certain time. Now, of course, there's our subscription button right there as well. And it looks like they actually have the comments turned off. You could choose to do that if you want to, good or bad. And here's an ad popping up here. And there you go. So this is kind of our general YouTube page. All right, so let's go back. So we kind of talked about getting around YouTube. We also talked about viewing YouTube video. Of course, if you hover, it does a little bit of a preview. Not only can you do the searching, but you can also do subscriptions, and then you'll actually have them listed in your subscriptions area. The cool thing about subscriptions is you can set it for there's a bell that will alert you if a new video comes out from that creator. Okay. And if you just want to do general browsing, there's sections for that as well. All right, so let's go ahead to our next part. Let's talk about as a creator. A big one is thinking about what is your niche. Okay, so we've got some videos to show to kind of help us get used to this. Think about what is your niche, What do you want to talk about as a creator? What do you want people to know about you? What do you people, is it more of a reality show of your life? Is it more of a hobby focused? Is it just you creating something? What will you talk about? Okay. We talk about personal experience with projects, hobbies, you know, the situation, whatever you feel comfortable about. Maybe it's something you've done for years. Maybe it's something you love. Maybe it's something that every time you see friends or family, they ask you about, and you're like, okay, well, I think I could teach other people how to do that. Your personality is why people stay with your channel, but not why they will show up in the first place. You have to think about what is in it for them. Okay. Why should someone watch you instead of another big YouTuber in your niche? Okay. You have to offer them something new, a new focus on, a new take on that same topic. Okay. Kind of think about a restaurant. You can get you a hamburger for pretty much anywhere, but then if you're going to start your own hamburger business, you go, okay, well, we're going to be different. We're going to have, you know, potato buns, and that's our big thing, and our hamburgers will be, you know, never frozen or something, and then you can put that on the sign. Think about that kind of as what you want to talk about. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's watch our little creator video. This is actually from YouTube. This is the YouTube Creators channel. And I'll turn on the subtitles too.
Hey creators, I'm Tom from the YouTube product team. Big changes are coming to how you manage your channel. I'm here to give you a rundown on some of the new improvements to the YouTube Studio. You might be wondering, why are we making all these changes? Well, the original YouTube Studio Classic has been around for over 10 years, and it became really hard for us to make improvements to improve your experience. So now, the new YouTube Studio will let us give you more features faster. Many of you may have already been defaulted into the new YouTube Studio. If you haven't yet, you can get to it by clicking on the button on the top left corner of Classic. And I strongly encourage you to check it out because this will become the new prominent main platform for creators going forward. There's going to be a transition period. So in the next few months, you'll be able to go to both. But in the long run, the new YouTube Studio will be the primary place where we put all of our efforts and all of the new innovation. The first thing you see in the new YouTube Studio is a dashboard. Here you can see a snapshot of what's going on with your latest video, the latest news from YouTube, and your top line analytics for the last 28 days. There's going to be other new widgets coming. One of them is known issues, which will explain any kind of outages or any issues that are facing the platform. So if it's something that's affecting maybe your channel or other channels, you'll know what the status is right there. The second thing is the Ideas for You widget. Now this one's already in the dashboard. As you can see here, it gives you very specific recommendations based on your channel's characteristics. So maybe we notice that you haven't used a feature that channels like you are using with great success. We may recommend that you check out that feature, or it could recommend a Creator Academy lesson based on where you are in your growth journey as a channel. So those are some of the cool things in the dashboard. Do check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. All right, well, let's jump into the studio and look at how I manage a channel. Okay, so the first thing you need to keep in mind is the way to navigate. It has what we call entity-based navigation. And all that means is when you want to modify the analytics or the video editing or the captions or whatever for any specific video, what you need to do is select the video first, because all of these items on the left-hand side here, they're really right now at the channel level. So I'm going to select the video by just clicking on the video title, and now you'll see the items on the left have changed. So there's analytics, editor, comments, transcriptions, additional features. These are all related to that specific video. And then when you want to go back, just click on this little back arrow, and now you're back up at the channel level. Another cool thing about the YouTube Studio is on the video list here, you can make inline edits. So notice here, I'm looking at my list of videos and I can quickly click on the little pencil, and now I can change the title and the description without leaving the page. I can also change the visibility settings and monetization settings, all from the video list in line without having to load a bunch of screens. Okay, now let's take a look at the new and improved YouTube analytics. So I'm gonna click here, and now I'm at the channel level, and I'm seeing the channel analytics for this account. Some things that are really cool are the way we've organized the reports now are kind of aligned with the goals of a creator. So you have reach viewers, interest viewers, build an audience, earn revenue. And then within each of those, we highlight the top metrics that are most important for each section. The other thing that's really cool is on this reach viewers area is our impressions report, which will explain to you how many impressions you got for your videos, what the click-through rate was for those impressions, and then also how many unique viewers you got. Another thing that you'll notice about the new YouTube Studio in Analytics is these insights. These are smart headlines, human language descriptions of what's going on. So this has been based on feedback we got from creators telling us, hey, you know, these charts and tables are great, but just tell me what's going on. So now we do that. Currently, this feature is in English only, but we hope to get it out in all languages soon. When looking at your analytics, you can also change the date range by clicking on the date picker. You can also select a custom date range. Now you can go deeper by clicking on one of the cards, then a deep dive window opens. It allows you to sort the table by the different metrics, change the charts, and even create and apply groups. The other thing to know is you can click on the small play icons to see the video analytics, where the charts are now normalized and compare the video's performance to other videos, adjusting their age for a fair comparison. So next, let's look at the new video editor. I'll click on a video here, then I click editor, and you'll see that a couple things. One is it's a completely new visual design, really nice dark mode kind of look. But the most important thing is that the classic studio used to have editors all over the place. You used to have one editor for end screens, another editor for captions, another editor for blurring, another editor for audio swapping, and so on. That was very confusing to use. They were all a little different. Now you can do it all in one place and avoid any edits that collide with each other. Now, one thing you'll notice is from time to time, there might be a couple of features that you click on and it actually takes you to YouTube Studio Classic. Those are features that we're in the process of building in the new YouTube Studio. So in the meantime, we want to make sure that you could still get your job done and access those features. Over time, we'll replace those links with links to the native built YouTube Studio version of it. But in the meantime, you'll have those links to get your job done. Okay, so that's a quick summary of the new YouTube Studio. If you have feedback, please give us comments below, or you can use the send feedback feature in the product itself, or you can hit us up on Creator Insider. Whatever works for you. In the meantime, enjoy the new product and keep it real.
Okay, I hope that was helpful. I know he gets a little bit more into, the analytics of everything, but I do think that showing off the different parts, especially the video editor and the different sections, it kind of makes it a little bit more understandable. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about don't start uploading yet. Okay. This is a big one. One piece of advice is maybe even to go ahead and have 5 to 10 videos ready to launch your channel. Okay. This can be accomplished by uploading videos every day or so. If you start your channel with only uploading once a week, it's easy to feel stressed out about getting another video out. So maybe before you launch your channel, have 5 to 10 videos that you plan on releasing, because you can schedule release your videos as well. So let's talk about thumbnails for a minute. Okay, what exactly are thumbnails? Thumbnails are basically what you see before on the video. Now YouTube will choose what thumbnail to use unless you change it. So if you see a video that has like little graphics on it, kind of like this one here, something a little bit extra, you can actually tell that it's a submitted thumbnail. Maybe you need to do a little bit of graphic editing to kind of get used to that, to add like little graphics to stuff, little pop-up stuff that you can see that's not in the video, but it does reflect the video as well. You don't want it to be that someone clicked on your thumbnail thinking it was something else and then they're disappointed. Okay, you'll have a YouTube user that's not happy watching your video, and you don't want that. You want people that are interested in your topic, interested in what you're going to talk about, to show up in your and watch your videos. Okay, so that's our thumbnail. You create the graphic. Like I said, YouTube will choose it themselves automatically. If you don't choose one, and it could be a point at the beginning of your video, it could be a point in the middle, or it could be a point at the end. A long time ago, it used to be halfway point, and there was ways that people would try to change it anyway, but they don't do that anymore. So thumbnails are very important. Okay, yes, I know quality content is important. It should not be stated, not have to be stated, but here is the thing. Someone says, I reviewed hundreds of channels at this point, and most of the time the thumbnails do not do the video justice. So make sure that you're actually able to do that. It reflects what you have on that video. There you go. That is the point. So let's talk about our vlogging. Okay, so it's not, what are you doing? Are you doing created content? Maybe you're doing something with a video editor. Are you filming yourself? Then you're kind of vlogging. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. So here we are vlogging. Let's talk about kind of our main setup. I'll talk about this, and then I'll kind of show you kind of like the light setup that I'm using right now. So first you need to have your camera, and I will tell you this, you don't have to really start this project out by running out and buying an expensive camera. Do you have a smartphone? Okay, well, if you have a smartphone, you can already go ahead and get started. Film some content. What is your blog, or what is your YouTube channel going to be about? Go out, film some content. If it's like an interview thing, get used to doing interviews. Record some footage. If it's going to be in your home, find a nice place that you want to set up to record, quiet area to record your videos. Someplace kind of quiet. So if someone's coming in, the dog or something like that, it's not disrupting your recording in any way. Okay. So like I said, first starting off with the camera, you can start off your channel with your smartphone camera if you want to. Good lighting is really the big point. So let's talk about our lighting. You can find, you really need to have 3 points of light, okay? The front, the back, 2 sides, kind of like a fill light and kind of like a key light, okay? Now, a ring light can take care of a lot of that, to be honest. And a lot of YouTubers, that's maybe all they have. But definitely don't forget about the background. Now, let me go ahead and show you what I have going on. Hello, I'm back. And I've actually have an issue lately. I'll have to figure that out in the settings. That my green screen actually wants to be ugly in the background for some reason. And I even have my 2 lights where I actually had a beautiful, beautiful setup See, if I turn that light off, if I turn that light on, it kind of comes on and off. All right, so I'm going to turn off all my lights. So there goes the fill light. And the camera is actually set to change the exposure automatically. So if I turn off all my, and this is my ring light here. So basically now I just have the room light. Okay, so I'm actually going to just dim my that right now, so you can actually see the green screen that I actually had set up behind me. Now, one of the goals of the green screen is basically try to kind of cut stuff out. And as you see, I've actually had a few issues with it. I don't know why I've actually had a few issues with it lately. It may be because I think a lot of the light I was receiving out of the past few months was actually from this window that I'm near. And so I was receiving great light, and now because the season is changing a little bit, I'm not getting as good a light. Oh, this would be neat because you can actually see the green screen move around a little bit. There you go. There you go. So I'm not receiving as much natural light outside, so I've actually had to bring in another light. So I actually have two of the lights here. And I can actually bring that in so you can see it. So we have our big fill light here. Just kind of a cheap off of eBay kit. If we turn that light on, the should brighten up there. And even with no light, it's not too bad actually. I have one light above me and I'm getting some natural light from outside. But like I said, it's not as bright as it used to be, so I'm having to offset that with our other fill lights here. So we have our camera, and I'm actually using the camera that came with the computer. Just makes it a little bit easier to use. Now I'm actually using two screens, so I have one here and I have one screen here. So what you see is actually this over here, and I'm using the free OBS software that is very easy to download and use. Okay, so let me try my ring light again. So there's that just with the ring light, and it's actually set up to dim itself. So I could play around with the settings if I wanted to. So right now it is actually set on auto. There's the exposure, and if I turn the exposure off, I could do that by hand if I wanted to. And of course things like brightness, but I put on auto. So sometimes the auto is my friend, and there's the white balance on there too. What is white balance? White balance is what actually is the color white. Okay. Our eyes will actually, I won't even go into that because we talk about it in the photography class a little bit, but I can change the brightness of it. And a lot of these settings you can actually have set on default, or you can actually have set on the automatic as well. Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead, and with OBS you can actually add a filter, and it's supposed to cut out the background. And this is without the, and you can make it a green background or whatever you want. This is without the light. But if I actually brighten up my background, so the background is now lit. And I need to go to my settings here, because I think the deal is I have the exposure. There we go. Yeah, the auto thing's messing around with me. Okay, so I just turned the auto off, and there we go. We have somewhat of a green I forget the name of that exactly. But there we go. As you can see, it works pretty good. At least for me popping in here. And I don't have anything that's transparent or anything. Let's see. Of course, there's certain things you can do that'll make things reflect the light. And then it kind of makes them transparent as well. Okay. So now we're kind of back to having a natural, and if I natural cutout, and if I turn off one light, you'll see, there you go. So it still is important to have the lights for your background. So even if you have just a ring light, which is what I have on right now, if I go into here and I still mess with my exposure, hope you find this interesting, because I do, because if someone is trying to do this, this is kind of what they have to, the world they deal with, and have to make something brighter or darker or whatever. And you can change the color a little bit, turn the color on or off, which is kind of strange. Sharpness, gamma. Oh, here we go. If I put this here, you can actually see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've gone to the video settings, and if I do the exposure, there you go. So that's set to auto. Okay, I'm going to turn my two back. Now it's not lighting me, it's lighting up the background. You can see it's lighting me a little bit there, but it's mostly lighting up the background. So it looks like I've got this little bit. Let me see if I can point with my arrow. I got this little bit going on here, and that's because I have it set to auto. Okay, so if I turn auto off on the exposure and then I play with it here, we should be able to find the right balance. There we go. I think that works pretty good. The -5. So that completely disappeared. There you go. So that's the difference. And if I use the auto, it kind of like looks like the auto is kind of going for 4. So there you go, right there. So you have to kind of play around with that, and maybe that's too bright. And if you click default, there's the default brightness and everything. And maybe you think that's too bright. There you go. Ooh, kind of interesting. Kind of interesting, I'll say that. Okay, so here you go, right there. And just with a little bit of playing around, there's your background cut out. So if you're doing something like a game, talking, of course, pointing out something like this, and then you're good to go. Okay, and that's the OBS software that is for free. And I won't go into that too much. It's just kind of a recommendation. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about our, but yeah, you do need to have 3 points of light, even if it was a nice window from outside too. Okay, so let's talk about our microphones. Okay, so many different microphones. Most of the YouTubers, you will probably see them, unless they're doing the video similar to what I'm doing right now. They'll kind of have like a lapel microphone clipped here. Okay, very easy, just need a wire going right in. Why use the lapel microphone? Because you can move around with it as well, especially if you're doing any kind of on ground filming. You can re-edit the sound later as well. So lapel microphone instead of the camera mic. Anything that you can do to get sound better, definitely do that, because trust me, even for myself, there's many times where I flip to a YouTuber, it's information I really want to know, but then I can't hear them, or I can't stand the sound, too much noise in the background or something. And even if you listen very carefully, you'll probably hear the fan of the laptop that I'm recording on sound a little bit too, because I've actually heard that back as well. Now, software like the OBS and everything, if you really wanted to pinpoint, they do have some filters built in, so that may be able to help you with that. But as far as sound quality, and the funny thing is, now that we're staying home, staying safe, there's more and more times we're watching the news or something and someone is at home being interviewed and they're just using the microphone on their laptop, and then all of a sudden they get like a really bad noise, or it just doesn't sound proper, doesn't sound very good in any way. The best thing really to do is to get an external mic. So this is the external mic that I'm currently using. And I'm not 100% sure what the, it's a MANONO model. So you go right there, and it has a nice little stand with it and everything. So that's the microphone that I'm using right now. You should be able to hear the whispers that I can do. It will be like the sensory. So having a microphone kind of not near your face, be able to record certain noises, so you're not yelling as much, but just so that you can control it as well. This again, the OBS software allows me to control the volume. I can so the microphone's not too loud. I can up the volume. One of the things you definitely want to do is, if you do have the meter going back and forth, you definitely do not want it to be in the red in any way. Okay, so there you go right there. Hey Jane, how are you? As far as a microphone, the average would be probably about $100 or so. It depends on which ones you go. I'm not sure on this one. This is actually one the library has. Okay, let me look that up real quick. Most of these about $100. A lot of people talk about Yeti. Microphones can go very, very high, so do realize that. Let's see for 1 second here. Okay, I found it. I don't know if it's on sale or if it's a cheaper price or whatever. I believe this is it here. They have it for $58. I've been using it for a while now. I've enjoyed the sound from it. Oh yeah, there's me on Amazon. Enjoy the sound from it, and it does come with a basically to make sure you're not spitting into the microphone or anything like that. But I'd recommend it. It's worked pretty well. There you go, YouTuber. There you go. Not too bad. Works fairly well, I believe. Okay, so talked about our microphone. Definitely go beyond your cell phone mic. Okay. So one of the things you could do if you are doing recordings with a cell phone, hook in, do a lapel mic. Plug it in that way. Okay. I've even seen people use the Apple wired to do interviews or anything like that, because it does have a mic built in, and it does plug into the modern, lightning cable. iPhones, I'm sure they have one for the USB-C stuff as well. But anyway, having a video editor, YouTube does actually have a built-in basic editor as well. Okay, now again, there's lots of free ones out there, and I will show you the free one that comes with Windows. So this is the one. This is the videos. Yeah, sure. This is the video editor that comes with Windows, and it's called the app's actually called Microsoft Photos. Okay. Well, I'd recommend that one that I just showed. The if I can pull that one up again, just mostly because it is the one I'm using. I try to recommend stuff that I personally used. Okay. So I've used it for a while now. I haven't had any issues with it. The software seems to work pretty well with it. So yeah, I'd recommend it. And it being kind of inexpensive like that. So you have your normal, kind of video editing tools here. You have your storyboards laid out. You can add title cards and stuff. And this is what we cover in the video editing class that we're doing again at the end of the month. Okay, the big one for any kind of video editor is mainly you need it to be able to do split videos and trim videos or editing very well. Okay, I know that sounds strange, but if you get into a video editor and you're trying to split a video and you find that it's difficult in some way, or trying to trim a video, then you need to try a different one. Okay, there are some free ones, and I think I have Video Shoot listed on there. You can spend a lot of money on a video editor. I do know that. I'll see if that's still available. See, I do know that the Humble Bundle website will do video editor discounts, and it's for charity, and you can control how much you want to go to charity and stuff. It looks like their one that they had for that is currently up, but usually there's Vegas is the expensive one that most people you hear really like, the Vegas editor. Okay, so this is what we cover in our normal class, and you can actually add little 3D effects to it, and it has a built-in special effects, and also it has a free 3D library kind of setup that you can add little characters and stuff like that to your projects. Okay, so it's kind of fun. Like I said, we covered this in the video editing class. So look, there's a flamingo. Where should our flamingo go? I will tell you, some of these, they don't actually have their own moving animation. It's more like a stretchy wobble or something like that. But yeah, anyway, but then they have some 3D stuff too. So look, all of a sudden, so yeah, and that's free. So kind of play around with that first, and you can add any kind of background music you want. You can add new text to it and motion and make great slideshows out of it too. So I recommend it. It does have a few glitches in it. Make sure that you have the updated version of Windows 10 with it. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully we covered that a little bit. That's one of the more fun things to kind of play around with, is the video editors. So yeah. And I think I have a list of some of the, there's a few free ones out there. But yeah. And it's a good thing to come back and go to the photo editor, because then you can kind of talk about that as well. All right, so let me disappear now. Let's talk about build the following skills for YouTube. Now, this is from an article that a YouTuber built that really talked about you want to get really good at quick editing. You want to get really good at certain skills just to be ready, and there's certain things that you just need to accept about yourself, okay? There are certain skills you need to build and grow a successful YouTube channel. Skills and talent do play a role in why people are or are not successful on YouTube platform. It's not down to luck, okay? Speaking, one thing that's funny is I don't know why I've gotten, I wouldn't say addicted or anything like that. I just say I've gotten very interested in, there's a fellow on YouTube that has decided to do the classic PC game Tycoon Roller Coaster 2 videos in high def. So a game that came out, you know, many years ago, and has decided to go in there and talk about, you know, not really how to cheat, but just kind of how the game works. See how many carousels can he build in one area, and it's like 100 or something. Some of it's very silly, some of it's kind of funny. But putting out content, like every day there's a new video of him talking about new topics about this old game. But it's pretty neat. So and even in the comments people go, wow, an HD version, look at this 2020, and someone's talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, you know, game and stuff. It's pretty neat. So that may be a niche, and maybe he'll expand past that one game. We'll see. But it's kind of interesting. So if there's something you find interesting, maybe even something retro that comes out and you go, oh, I'm interested in that, maybe that could be, you know, your niche. All right, so let's talk about getting used to speaking in front of a camera, okay? 2 is mastering your camera gear settings, all right? Figuring out your basic lighting. So even as you see me playing around with it, finding out that the lighting has changed because of the time of year, and having to compensate for that, and even mess around with the settings again to get something that I wanted. I didn't actually use a green screen background. I just kind of used the wall. But I'm finding out the green screen background, it kind of makes me feel more like I'm in the video, if that makes sense. So when I come up and talk. Learn either graphic design or photography for thumbnails. Get used to that. Design some good thumbnails. Work on some graphic design if you want to. Make your thumbnails a little bit more interesting. And I will tell you this: if you don't want to do, if you're really good at PowerPoint, and you're not very good at using for editing software, which it's not that big a step. Sure, you could use something like you could use something like PowerPoint. Create your image, what you want it to be. Take a screenshot using like the snip tool that comes with Windows 10. And then boom, you didn't even have to get into a photo editor or anything like that, and you based on what skills that you have. Okay, so there you go, right there. Good at PowerPoint? Well, you can do thumbnails or any kind of graphic editing you want. Just do a screenshot of it using the snip tool, SNIP tool in Windows 10. You can save anything on the screen as a JPG file. All right, so learn to optimize your YouTube videos for search and discovery, adding hashtag stuff, add a really good description to it, okay? Get on the other social media like Twitter and Instagram. So if you are starting a channel, it actually is important for you when you choose your name. Like I said earlier, you do have to have 100 subscribers to be able to get your own unique address. Even our library currently, I think we're at 30 subscribers right now. We've only been doing this just a few months on YouTube, trying to encourage people to come watch us on YouTube and everything, because we can't have our on-ground classes, so all our classes are virtual. And you may want to think across the board of if I did come up with like a channel name, Is that channel name available on Twitter? Is it available on Instagram? So if I wanted to expand my audience, get my audience engaged someplace else, or in Snapchat or anything else, Facebook, there you go right there. So maybe you need to go ahead and think out of the box some. Figure out how to research topics and trends, okay? So something happens, everybody all of a sudden is trying, let's say you want to do a cooking one. All of a sudden everybody's cooking a certain dish. How does that happen? Well, it's just because somebody finds out, reads an article about something new, some different way of doing something, and then everybody's like, well, I think I could do that. You know, I think I'll try that recipe. I think I'll try that different way of cooking something. And then there you go. That's a trend. Now it may become popular, may stay popular. You know, I don't know, but it makes good YouTube, because then all of a sudden you see a bunch of people doing this new thing that's come out and trying to, you know, understand why it's popular, understanding how to do it too. Yeah, there you go. Understand YouTube features and settings, which we talked about some of them. Like I said, again, this is kind of a, you know, overview one-on-one class. I don't know 100% sure, you know, what your focus is. So we kind of let it be general. Just shooting a video, hitting the upload button. I mean, yeah, the upload button, and then you have a video on YouTube. But if you're trying to launch, or you can even record live from your phone, download the YouTube app, record video that way, and then your video is on YouTube. Now, if you're trying to make a channel and talk about money, that's what we're about to talk more about. So let's talk about making money, okay? Have you personally tried to do this and wasn't really sure how to get started? You've heard people say, oh, well, somebody on the internet's kid started recording them playing video games, and now they make $1,000 a month or something like that. Something that sounds just absolutely crazy. Well, the big one is you have to build and engage your audience first, okay? It's an opportunity to make money while doing what you love. Again, talk about what your niche is, talk about what your focus is, talk about what you want to do. There's even one gentleman, I have him in the references as well. He makes YouTube content, but he found out that he actually liked talking about to people about being a creator on YouTube. So his specialty is actually talking about becoming a creator or becoming a better creator in talks and lectures, and he actually goes around to the different cons and does little lectures about it. And you can actually watch his little lectures and stuff. With a dedicated audience that loves tuning into your channel, you can explore various ways to generate revenue, including ads and other sources. So there's other ways too. And if you're not interested in making money, this topic's interesting, because anytime you watch a YouTube video, why do they all of a sudden go, this video is sponsored by so-and-so? And then they start talking about them. Does YouTube make them do that? No, they don't. What it is you have to, if you want to make money off of YouTube ads, you have to join the YouTube Partner Program. It takes about a month to review requests. Now, this is directly from YouTube, and I'm going to pull up a video that's going to talk about it in just a minute. The YPP eligibility and threshold. You ready? It's 3 major things, and he's going to cover more of them. And this may seem, you know, astronomical or too many or whatever. Be in good standing with YouTube. Did I say 10,000? I meant 1,000 subscribers earlier if I said 10,000. Sorry. Be in good standing with YouTube. 4,000 public watch hours in 12 months. Okay. So are they basically going you by watch count? No, they're going by watch hours. Why is watch count? Well, someone could possibly go to your video, watch your hour video, watch it for a minute, and you could get a watch count, okay? But they want watch hours. That's what they're mostly interested in. And have at least 1,000 subscribers. Remember, you have to have 100 subscribers to get your own unique name. So let's listen to this. Now, I don't want this to sound like it's too big a deal. It is obtainable. The big thing is, are you doing stuff that's a niche? Are you, and I will tell you this too, there's some folks that they will basically watch a video, they'll get involved in a creator, love the show, love the content, and then they've watched all of it. And they're actually looking for something that's similar to watch. And maybe that will be you. Maybe you will do something that's similar to what the other person did and then become popular as well. All right, so this is from YouTube.
Hi, my name is Stefan, and I'm a monetization strategist here at YouTube. The question I often hear from creators is, when can I start making money on YouTube? So I'm going to explain the basics of what you need to know to start earning money with your YouTube channel. Before you can earn money on your channel, you need an audience. Now, to build an audience, you need to make consistent videos that viewers really like watching. And like anything on YouTube, it's important that your videos follow YouTube's community guidelines. After that's all working for you, you can apply to join the YouTube Partner Program, or YPP, which lets creators monetize their videos on YouTube. To qualify for YPP, you need to be in good standing with YouTube and have 4,000 valid public watch hours in the previous 12 months and at least 1,000 subscribers. Now, we've set these thresholds because we want creators to be good citizens on the platform, and these requirements ensure our teams have enough information to really review your channel. Note that you can only apply to YPP after you cross the watch hour and subscriber thresholds. We'll keep you updated on your progress towards hitting these thresholds in the Monetization tab in YouTube Studio. You can also choose to be notified with an email once you're eligible to apply. Once your channel does hit these thresholds, you'll need to sign the Partner Program terms and sign up for a Google AdSense account. After all of these steps are completed, then your channel will be reviewed against our policies. And if everything looks good, you can start earning money from ads and from YouTube Premium subscribers watching your content. Also, once you're approved for the YouTube Partner Program, there are other revenue streams besides ads that you can tap into. Things like channel memberships or Super Chat, as long as you meet their criteria and they're available in your country. So that's the program in a nutshell. Now I'm going to walk you through some of the most common questions we get. The first is around channel reviews. Say you think your channel qualifies for YPP, but it hasn't been reviewed yet. Well, we usually get back to you in about a month once you hit the review thresholds, but you can find more about your status on the monetization page in YouTube Studio. Until then, keep making great content and focusing on building your audience. Another question that comes up, what if your channel isn't approved? If you're not approved for YPP, it's likely because your channel doesn't meet the YouTube Partner Program policies and community guidelines, in which case you can reapply again in 30 days as long as you still meet the watch hour and subscriber thresholds. Before you reapply, we suggest you read through these policies. There's some links in the video description, and go to the monetization page in your account and review your videos with our YouTube Partner Program policies and community guidelines in mind. The next step is to edit or delete any videos that violate these policies. Once you're successfully in the program, creators often ask, do I have to meet this threshold every year? The short answer is no. However, you do need to stay active with uploads and community posts. If you're inactive on your channel for 6 months and fall below the threshold, we may remove your channel from the partner program. Stay tuned to this channel and the Creator Academy for more insights, including how to get the most out of ads and other monetization features. Thanks, and bye for now.
Yes, they can. So be aware of that. So let's talk about other income as well. So he kind of zooms over that pretty quickly. Okay. But yes, so they could drop you from the program as well. But let's talk about other ways that we can make money with our channel that's approved by YouTube. Okay. Ads is basically them. Okay. The channel memberships. Okay. Merchandise. So let's talk about things that you can do personally. So a lot of these YouTubers, you'll actually see them saying, hey, well, everybody know we got a new t-shirt, and they talk about the t-shirt like, why do they want to sell me a t-shirt? Well, that's money that they make straightforward to them. Okay. It's not through YouTube in any way, and that's perfectly fine. The super chat is something that's newer from YouTube. It's basically you've been able to do a live chat, and you can make money that way. You can also make money with brand deals. So anytime you're watching YouTube and someone says, hey, I want you to let you know that this video is sponsored by, you know, some website design company or something like that, then there you go. That's kind of our brand deals that will pop up. Now, the YouTube Premium membership fees get distributed to creators based on how much members watch your content. So it's a little bit less understanding about how that works, but basically if they're premium, some folks say that you could make more money, some folks say that you could make less money. I haven't really seen a website that really specifically breaks that down, but maybe you can find one. That'll be helpful too. So let's go ahead and I'm going to click here. Let's learn a little bit more together. Well. Okay, is your channel ready to earn money? It talks about that, the 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 valid public hours in the last 12 months. Okay, now remember, you need to keep that. It says, do I need to keep it up? And then the guy's like, no, you don't need to keep it up, but you really do need to keep it up. So it sounds more like it's a bar that they set up and you have to reach that bar. Okay, it's more about being in the program, earn money with ads, how the ads work. If you're looking at earning money with ads, you'll want to understand how ads work and how advertisers think about ads on YouTube. Big things you're thinking about: who would want the content that you create, understanding how creators, viewers, and advertisers work together to help you get an idea of whether or not making money with ads makes sense for your channel. Estimate the time to complete 20 minutes. So this is the Video Creators Academy. I do recommend this if you're getting more in depth to this. Again, we're not talking about something that you know, just a general blogger on the internet may know all the information about. Who would know more information about this? Well, YouTube would know more information about this, so they've actually set up a whole academy situation. Here's talking about making money with ads. Let's talk about our super chat, and let me see if I can zoom in here, because I know that not everybody is on a giant screen. Oh, okay. All right, earn money with super chat or super stickers. Super chat and super stickers provide another way to monetize your channel while engaging with your community. In this model, you'll learn about how super chat and super stickers work. Estimated time 15 minutes. Level, I've never used super chat. So when you set up your audience as made for kids, will restrict certain features to comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act and other applicable laws when this happens. Now, this also means that that content will get pushed to the YouTube Kids app. Okay, when this happens, live chats won't be available on individual videos or live streams, including the use of super chat and super stickers. Super stickers. All right, now merchandise is a great way to make money on keeping engaged with the community. In this course, you'll learn about taking development branding names. So again, this is going into the person trying to sell a t-shirt. Okay, you can do that yourself. You can do that talking about the membership ads. But if you want to get more into this, learn about super stickers, stuff like that, super chat, which I think is similar to their you know, the chat live, and then people can donate money while you're doing the chat. There you go, right there. So basically what to take away from this: watching YouTube, someone says, hey, buy my t-shirt. Watching YouTube, saying, hey, click this link. There's a guy that I really enjoy watching, and he actually repairs electronics. He mostly focuses on laptops, or he focuses on video game portable systems or game systems. And at the bottom of the video, he actually list what tools he has on Amazon in the links, and that's perfectly fine. Now, if you go to the link and you click it and it takes you to Amazon and you purchased one of those tools from Amazon, he may get a little bit of a percentage on it. Okay, so do knows that sometimes when people recommend stuff, they can do that. Okay, so let's talk about other resources. Classic, going to the site and just finding the about page. And let's go ahead and let's watch this video, and it kind of covers their kind of oh, it's kind of previewing it. That's neat. Kind of covers what the YouTube is, what YouTube wants to be, what YouTube wants to promote. It's just kind of, you know, connections.
So, you want it to sound like this, right? Really good?
Look at these moments. All of these stories, secrets, revelations from every corner of the world. Every video a chance to walk in someone else's shoes. A reminder of how amazingly generous people are, how hilariously funny, and how heartbreakingly vulnerable humans can be.
Thank you guys so much for being here for me.
This is the rawest, purest, most unfiltered portrait of who we are as people. A celebration of what humans can do. Proof of our potential, a motor for our progress.
We only get one chance at life, and you're always going to be happy if you're going to be real with yourself.
This is what happens when you give everyone a voice, a chance to be heard, and a stage to be seen.
Julius Yago, they call him the YouTube man.
Whatever your thing is, well, here it can become the next big thing. That person who thought they were no one, they can become someone. That voice that thought it didn't matter, well, it can start a movement. Even when you feel all alone in the world, it's here you can find someone just like you.
Days like this is why I started, because otherwise I would just be doing this alone. This is what family's about right here.
That's the power of YouTube. That's the power of you. All of you.
Alright, so that's directly from YouTube, the About page, and it kind of talks about what they have. They believe in all kinds of, you know, connecting people telling their stories and everything. I think it's a good overview. This is another website that, let's see. It kind of has a YouTube class. Again, I really want to push the video creator that they have on there. Kind of covers some basics on there. Talking about recording your own videos and everything. Of course, we don't get into that in this class. Just hitting the record video. The big thing is, like that guy said, and he even said, to get used to, you know, yourself, your sound, your voice. Not everything you do will be perfect. So basically, this is one of the classes I recommend. This is on YouTube, the Creator Academy, and by YouTube. Is your channel ready to earn money? And it actually goes and starts the course. It covers everything, talks about the AdSense and everything, and it kind of gets you a little bit more started, or not more started, but more than what we have today. Now, this is a great article too. Okay, Ultimate Guide Starter. I think, yeah, this is the Robert Blake guy I was talking about. There's also other ones here. This guy talks about cheap lighting, but I don't know if I.
What's up, guys?
Earlier, but there are, and it's got a commercial, of course. But like I said, the lighting kits that you can get like off of eBay or Amazon or someplace like that. You know, $100, less than $100, and you'll have a nice three-way lighting, you know, from different places. Then you can always work on upgrading later. But I want to talk, you know, mainly focus on and just kind of start from the beginning, and then of course you can build, add, upgrade later. But mainly the focus is to try to get, you know, the content, you know, out there. So basically he talks about the kind of like what I just covered, talks about the different lighting. So basically he tries to, where is the part here? I think this is it. So this is kind of where he starts, and this is where he's trying to go. Okay. Boom. So that's where he's trying to go with the better mood lighting, having some separate lighting going on. Now he is using a photography camera, not just a camera that's like on the your computer. But like I said, you can start there. And he'll talk about the different types of light. It's 10 minutes long, but it's really interesting, so I do recommend it. He talks about gels and everything on there, and then some portable little lights if you don't want anything that's big. A good thing to do is to get lighting that basically has the natural light. I'm near a window, so the lighting I definitely chose was definitely trying to get it to be sun. Okay, 100-watt LED bulb can do wonders. And there you go. All right, so I'll pause him. This is kind of a recommendation. The best blogging cameras. Again, if you just got a cell phone, start from there, but mostly focus on your sound. This article talks about the best blogging cameras. This is cnet.com. See if I can get that big enough here. It kind of goes along. Of course, we have our advertisements, live stream, talks about different rigs. GoPros. Kind of more of a pro camera. Canon. So you have a lot of options. Again, if you're going to start, just try to kind of start. Focus on your content. Here's a recorder, the Elgato. And there you go. So a great article with great information on it. And this is a great video about beginner video editing as well. And this is actually by YouTube. Oh, yeah, I remember this now. Sorry. It's funny, sometimes I put stuff in the resources and I go, that's a great video. And then it's like, that's worth showing. So this definitely is worth showing.
Okay, so your first shoot is complete. You have your footage in hand, but what's next? How do you turn what you shot into a great video? Well, it's all at your fingertips with the power of editing. So pull up a chair, fire up that computer, and let me show you some important steps to turn your idea into reality. Hi everyone, it's Kia and my channel is The Notorious KIA. I've been creating videos on YouTube for over 6 years and I can't overstate the importance of editing. Here are 12 steps that are the basics you need to know. Remember, you'll develop your own editing style as you practice more, but these are simple tips to help you get started. What's interesting is that editing begins long before the first cut. It starts on the shoot. Step 1, multiple takes. You may want to think about doing multiple takes of shots so you have plenty of performance options to choose from. Also, make sure you get all the wide shots you need and any close-ups that you want your audience to focus on. Step 2, back up your footage. Once you've completed a successful shoot, back up and transfer your footage immediately. I've heard so many stories of creators leaving their memory cards in cabs or at airports, and sometimes you won't be able to reshoot. So get that footage copied and somewhere safe quickly. Step 3, your edit space. Where you edit is very important. Make sure you find somewhere quiet where you can focus. You can even throw on a little music to set the vibe. Step 4, organizing your files. Import your footage and organize it into folders like you organize computer files in general. The more preparation you do sorting your footage into the right place, the better. It will save you hours later when you're looking for that one shot you just can't find. Trust me. Step 5, watch your footage. Spend time watching every single shot. This helps you familiarize yourself with all your footage. Step 6, beginning to edit. Finally. Mark the best takes, then lay them into a sequence in order on your timeline. This is called an assembly edit. It means you have all your top content in one place, roughly following the storyline. Step 7, fine cutting. Next, you start cutting the shots down further, removing the beginning and the end of them and creating your story. Consider removing any ums and ahs and any long pauses or boring parts. The goal is to really make your video move in a quick and efficient way. Jump cutting is often used to allow you to truncate time and move forward quickly and efficiently. Here's an example.
The weather is really humid in New York, so I put it in a pineapple and I wash my hair weekly. Those are 2 questions that I get a lot.
If you want to do something slightly more advanced, transitions is how you add variety and are an effective way to maintain the pace of the video. These are things like dissolves between shots or fades, which give the feeling of time passing. Another fun transition is the wipe, which can come in a lot of different styles. Some programs have automatic transitions as well as many options to customize them exactly the way you want. Step 8, watch over and over, pause, and do it again. Watch your video sequence down over and over again. The more times you watch it, the more you'll feel when it gets too slow or where you need to edit something out or if you need to explain moments in more detail. At some point, I always get too close to my work and I need to step away. So I take my dog for a walk or I grab something to eat and I come back later or even the next day for a fresh perspective. Believe me, this always helps. Step 9, building up your edit. Consider adding B-roll and title cards or text callouts. B-roll is supplemental footage or images that support the story. It usually is intercut with whatever your main shot is and is used to show and tell what's going on. And a title card goes at the beginning of your video like this, which, like the title of a story, helps you set up what your audience is about to see. Text callouts are engaging ways to highlight important facts you want to bring to everyone's attention. They can be a lot of fun like this. And make sure you lay out all your titles on a separate layer to the footage so it's clear to see and easy to make changes. As your video edit shapes up, remember to add time for your in-screen elements like imagery for other related videos you want to promote or to encourage people to subscribe. Step 10, working with sound. This is all about the importance of sound. Sound? Audience usually don't mind bad lighting, but they can't stand watching a video where they can't hear what's going on. So record your sound well. And music is also very important. It sets the tone for your content. One of the best places to find great music is the YouTube audio library, where all the tracks are free to use without issues. Step 11, mixing your sound. You should always try to do some mixing of your sound. This can be daunting, but the best rule of thumb is to make sure you can easily hear your voice at all times. So turn the music down so that it supports but doesn't overwhelm the voice, and turn it up when nobody is talking for more drama and excitement. Close your eyes and listen to your entire soundtrack and see if anything is too hard to hear or too loud, and make adjustments until it sounds good to you. Step 12, what is color correction? You can make your video look just the way you like it with color correction. You can boost up the saturation to make your colors pop and add contrast so your blacks truly look black. Then you're almost done. Watch everything a few more times to check that the cuts, sound, and images look exactly how you want them, and then you're ready to export. Set the export settings and look to see if your editing software has a specific export for YouTube option. Export your video onto your computer and then upload it to YouTube. I suggest you upload as unlisted first. This gives you time to write your title, description, and tags. Then when you're ready, flip your video to public for the world to see. I hope this video has helped you get started. Remember, editing is where a lot of the magic happens, so find a process that works for you. Check out the Creator Academy course for more information, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube Creators channel for a new video every week. So till next time, peace!
All right, excellent. And I think there's actually a new video they posted on there. Let's look and see.
So you're ready to start?
Let's see. Yeah, that's YouTube Creator. Okay, so we do have time. I think I'll go ahead and play this video, and then we'll be wrapping up class. So I'll go ahead and ask if there's any final questions.
Making videos. Good, but what type of camera? Editing? So many questions. Making videos can be very intimidating. So come along and let's figure this out together, one step at a time. What's up, beautiful people? It's your homegirl, Shameless, all up in your building, and today we are going to be talking about how to jumpstart your video making. To be a YouTube creator, you need to have foundational knowledge of video production. Now, every creator has their own process based on their own style, their goals, so as we break this creative process down, make sure you guys keep that in mind. Some people want that glossy, high-quality video, while others are okay with something that's super fast and quick so long as they have lots of uploads. So as we go through, think to yourself, how could these tips benefit my channel? Let's get started with your #1 asset, your camera. Here are two of the top camera options that we're going to be going over with you right now. A basic point-and-shoot camera and a more sophisticated DSLR. Now, if you want to know more specifics about brands, you can always check out reviews and tutorials from other YouTube creators. But first, let's go over how each of these cameras work and how they can help your channel. A point-and-shoot camera is going to cost you something like $400 to $700 US, and they're really simple and easy to use. They're a kind of all-in-one device that's great for frequent vlogging in almost any setting. You can get one with the reversible LCD screen as well, so you can even see your shot. Here's some actual footage from a point-and-shoot camera. You can see that even though it's a simpler camera, it still has that nice HD 1080 look, which is why so many top creators use them for their everyday videos. Now, let's compare that to a DSLR. Don't even worry what that stands for because it doesn't matter. What does matter is that you're gonna get a lot more of a cinematic look that has a nice blurry background. And because of this, a DSLR is going to be more expensive, often ranging from $500 to $2,500 US. DSLRs are heavier and they use interchangeable lenses. You're going to need to be on top of getting focused and learning more technical aspects of using the camera. But don't even worry about it. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube that will show you how to do this if you are interested in learning more. That being said, you can see the difference. Pulling focus gives you that soft focus background that comes across as very professional. Let's take a look compared to that point-and-shoot camera from before. See the difference? Now, before I move on, I'm going to throw in an honorable mention. Nowadays, a lot of people are able to use, yes, their cell phones as their cameras. Now, this isn't going to give you the same quality, but it's definitely impressive. It's a great option if you're not looking to spend lots of money on a camera and you just want to start practicing on YouTube, like right now. Let's move on to sound now. You might want to pay attention to this one because this is easily the place where most first-timers mess up. That's because while most viewers sometimes don't mind low-quality lighting, they cannot stand low-quality sound. So if you're still using your camera's onboard microphone, make sure you're staying between 3 or 4 feet from the camera. And if you want to get any further away from that, that's where you have to get into more advanced options. So this is a shotgun microphone. It's recording what you're actually hearing right now, and it runs you anywhere between $150 and $250 US. Now these microphones have directional recording. So whatever it's directly pointing to, it's gonna pick up. As long as your camera has a port for an external microphone, you could just pop this on top and you are set. But what if you want a much wider shot? That's when you use this guy, a wireless lavalier microphone, or a lav. Now, a lav kit can be anywhere between $200 and $600 US, so a little pricier, but if you need to be further away from the camera, it is a lifesaver. And a lavalier is also great when you're in a noisier location. Here's an example of a lav at work. I'm outside, I'm standing super far away from the camera, and I'm in a really tricky location. But I'm still getting really great quality sound. Let's switch over to the shotgun mic and see how that stands up. So here's an example of a shotgun mic out here. Not as great, right? Now let's, out of curiosity, switch over to the onboard camera mic and see how that stands up. Okay, so here it is. Can you hear me? to the lab. So much better. I'm gonna throw in another quick honorable mention here. If you're really getting into more advanced and looking for a cinematic approach, look into getting a boom microphone. That's where someone else is actually holding a mic over your head on what's called a boom pole during shooting. It has great quality sound, and again, this is only if you're looking to bring on a bigger crew. Most creators will be good to go with either a shotgun mic or a lav that we talked about. Both work to capture your voice, but some are better than others depending on what you're shooting or where you're shooting. But again, it's all about what your specific needs are as a creator. So let's move on to lighting. This is super important because it's what's going to help you show off your most important assets. Most creators use something similar to what I'm using right now, which is a 2-point lighting system. That's 2 soft boxes lighting your face. One important tip that I have, especially if you get hot easily, is to look into LED or fluorescent lights. They run from $400 to $2,000 US, but they stay cooler than incandescent lights. You can also try to light up the background or play around a bit, but most importantly, show off your best self. As you can see here, one of the best things about these soft boxes is that they create soft light as opposed to hard light. When it comes to your face, you always want to make sure you go with soft because it means it diffuses the light and it's more flattering. It's the same reason lamps have lampshades. Another option for soft, flattering light is a ring light. A ring light works really well to light up your whole face and give you that pop of eye light. It's basically a one-stop beauty light. Our final lighting option is not only the brightest light in existence, it's also completely free, the sun. A lot of creators just sit in front of a bright window to get that nice natural light on their face. Obviously, this has limits in terms of the time of day you can shoot, but it's still one of the easiest and cheapest options out there to get your glow on. So let's see those 3 lighting options back to back now. The soft boxes give you a really polished look, the ring light is great for beauty lighting, and the window brings an easy way to light up your face. They all work to keep you looking lit, so what's best for you and your channel? So you've made it to our last video making topic, editing. Now editing is like a puzzle. You're going to take each piece of footage and stitch them together to tell your story. It can get a little technical, but don't let that discourage you. If you're just beginning, there are a lot of great programs that are probably already on your computer right now. For example, you might already have iMovie if you're on a Mac or Windows Movie Maker if you're on a PC. Focus first on learning how to do a simple cut. That way you can cut together your favorite pieces of footage just by dragging these pieces next to each other. From there you can learn how to use transitions, music, or even effects. Once you get the basics down, you can always consider purchasing more advanced software. Some creators use editing programs like Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, or Avid, which can be anywhere between $100 and $1,000 US. New creators just stick to free programs, but just keep that in mind, you have options. Of course, if you want a more specific recommendation on brands or models, give it a quick search on YouTube. You know creators are always passionate about sharing the tools they use, and they have tons of great reviews out there that can help you make the right decision. But first, one more quick lesson. Don't wait for the perfect equipment. Start now. Practice with whatever you have and improve with each video. Okay, I hope that helps you jump into YouTube. What advice do you have for people getting started? Do you have a favorite piece of equipment you'd recommend? Let me know in the comments below and help each other out.
I love it. I love that one.
Now that you got your equipment ready to master your production skills, check out.
Okay, so that was a great video. I thought it would be. It's from YouTube and the creators to get everybody kind of ready and everything. So we've kind of come to the end of our class. Let's talk about what we've covered today. Well, we covered up what is YouTube. We covered what is YouTube. We also talked about signing up, logging in as well. We also talked about viewing YouTube as a viewer. We talked about views. We talked about subscribing to your favorite YouTube channel as well. We even talked about that in the cord cutting class, because part of that is that there's news, there's content being put out constantly, subscribers, professionals, favorite YouTubers, and you may miss it if you don't subscribe to their channel. Okay. We talked about viewing YouTube as a creator. We talked about uploading videos. We talked about cameras, lighting, microphone, video editing. Like she said, video editing is super important with our videos. Keeps it kind of going and constant and everything. We also talked about making money. We learned about that 1,000 subscriber threshold and the hours that we need in the last 12 months. So can you make a lot of money on YouTube by making one video and it becoming, you know, super popular and 1 million people saw it? No, that's not really how YouTube works. So we also listed our resources. So before we finish up, any questions? I hope you enjoyed the class. We have covered a lot of topics. Definitely feel free to kind of share it with friends and everything. And I'll kind of talk about some of the classes that we have coming up as well. This afternoon, we've got the Raspberry Pi class at 2:30 with me. I'll be doing a live demonstration. One of the projects we're going to be looking on is a music box project. So we'll be doing our little wires and everything together. Wires and blinking things and all on that. So we'll be working on that. And I'm actually going to have another camera which will be above my desk, pointed down, and I'll actually have a video capture card capturing what I have coming out of the Raspberry Pi, so we code, and then have a camera pointed up and down, so there'll be like a square in another place, so you can actually see the hands-on part as well. So again, as a YouTube creator, one of the things is, can you have more than one angle at one thing? And also, she even talked about if you're not doing it live like this, but if you were coming back, editing, recording B-roll, having different angles to the same thing, maybe even pausing while you're recording, have someone else come in, record a little bit closer, focusing on what you're doing, and then you can splice and edit that in later. Okay, so here's a list of all the classes we have coming up this month. So this afternoon's class will do it for this week, and then next week will be Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and of course we're going to be doing another session of our computer projects. This will be a different project we'll be working on the 9th, and a different project on the 10th as well. And then we'll be back on the 22nd with our camera classes. Yay! So again, I encourage you to come to the for the YouTube people trying to learn more about doing photography. Come to the photography classes, fundamentals of backing up and organizing our pictures and videos. And then on the 24th, advanced photo editing, which is a new class because now we're adding layers to our editing class. And we've pushed our virtual scrapbooking to our 29th, which is a photography, printing, and virtual scrapbooking class. And then on the 30th, we're going to be using that program we were talking about. Basically, it's like the new movie maker that she was talking about. Excuse me, but it's called Windows Photos app, and now it does videos. And if you do have your Windows 10's the most updated, just do search, type in video editor, and then it'll pop right up. Okay, and that's on the 30th. We'll also be doing chess at the end of the month. Little side note, our libraries are open here in the CSRA, Evans, and every place, Harlem, in Grovetown. They're with limited services and hours. Curbside holds pickup is available. Make sure to thank the librarians for doing that. It's such a great service that they're doing, going out of the way to do that. You can go to gchrl.org for details, or call into the library Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like our Facebook pages and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yes, this channel that you're on, you do need to be logged in. So if you are doing YouTube videos and you're telling people to like and subscribe, well, you also need to make sure that they're logged in, don't you? So they need to be logged into YouTube to be able to see and like and subscribe your videos. So please like this video, and don't forget in the future, if you're trying to find our YouTube channel, it's GCHRL Videos. And remember, we need 100 subscribers so we can get our own YouTube channel name. Okay. So thanks for coming by today. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. I'll see you this afternoon, or I'll see you next week, or I'll see you in the future. It's beautiful outside. Go outside. I know you're staying safe and everything. Go outside, get a little bit of exercise in that beautiful sun here in Evans, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.